Okay, so YNW Melly is not guilty, but also strangely, he's not guilty because today in Florida, the judge declared a mistrial. What that means is that the jury could not agree that he was guilty or that he was not guilty. Now, the reason that this is amazing to me is that the trial lasted several weeks. Now, I know you can say it lasted a couple of months because they did jury selection way back in April, but the reality is that the trial lasted about 3 weeks with some breaks, whatever. The judge only required the jury to deliberate for 2 days. Now, if the judge releases them, what he's saying is that he's satisfied that they'll never be able to reach an agreement. They'll never either all get to not guilty or ever not get to all guilty. And so he's done. Now, what does that mean? Is Melly a free man? No. If you are one of those people that has a poster that says Free Melly, you need to keep waving it because the state of Florida has the right to try him again. And because of the severity of the crime, because of the allegations, they likely will do that. That's not a theoretical problem that they have. They have 2 dead bodies, and they have to figure out who did it and who can they punish for that crime. On the other hand, you have this prosecutor who many people said, wow, she is ruining this case. The evidence is great, and she's failing. And for those people, the people who thought, oh, Melly is guilty, but he's not going to get convicted because of this prosecutor, they might be patting themselves on their collective backs right now because the reality is there were some holes in the case. And if you're like me, you thought that he did it, but you weren't necessarily sure that the jury would agree, well, you've got a prosecutor that you can blame if you want to, or you can blame investigators because there were leads that they didn't chase down. There were gaps, there were holes, there was some really bad testimony. But here's the upshot. We are going back to square one. So if your KB goes live, if you're Cuff Boys, if you're someone that's been covering this nonstop from the jump, you probably got another bite at the apple. So the prosecutor has another bite at the apple unless she gets benched and someone says, let's bring someone else in to try this case, which to me is not necessarily off the table. But I'd love to know what you think. Get down in the comments. Tell me if you think the jury is crazy or if you think they got it right or if you think he's not guilty and you'd like the prosecutor to not try him again because that is an option. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button for me since I've posted 2 videos on the weekend shot outdoors and my editor doesn't even know what I'm